great to have you joining us on the Fashion Watch this evening. My panel is ready to look at the fashion trends of the week. The Fashion Watch panel is ready to look at the fashion trends of the week. And they're here in studio once again. Let me begin with Carol Odero on this end. Editor, Drum Magazine, and fashion columnist. And of course, sitting next to Carol Odero is Ian Mbugwa. You know him from Tasker Project fame, No Nonsense, Straight Talking. He's with us in studio. Of course, Robert Burale. Robert, you're looking exhausted today. Anyway, this is Robert Burale. He's an image consultant, that's better. And he's a panelist here on the Fashion Watch. And of course, Annabelle Onyango. She's a fashion stylist. So let's get started and take a look at yet another red carpet event that went down last weekend. And this, was, of course, was with Lux. And it was at the Kempinski here in Nairobi. Annabelle, your best friends. Sauti So. And the reason why I want to start with Annabelle is we've seen them in this look before. Is this perhaps getting old, or is this their signature statement thing that they do everywhere they perform? Because I know they were performing at the Kempinski that evening.
Yeah. Have you seen them in this before?
I have. Yes, I have. Didn't they have something similar to this at the MTV?
We've seen it before.
Yeah.
I think what you're
Thank you, Ian. I almost thought I put my foot in it.
I think you're mistaking sort of them wearing suits every time for maybe seeing them in the same thing. But what you'll notice that every time they have a suited look, it's always sort of a different suit. It's always a different. It's their personal take on what the conventional suit is. Okay. And as you can see here, you know, they're wearing 4 different colors, 4 different personalities, 4 different styles. They're very defined, and they have those sexy stunners.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think they really do a good job of like looking mature and formal, but still, you know, having a very sort of editorial and interesting take on it.
Okay. Ian, let me cross over to you. You said you've seen them, okay, not necessarily the same thing, but it could have been a similar look. What do you think about that in terms of performances and performing acts and just artists sort of having the same style going on? Is that okay?
I think it is. It's kind of like their signature look.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And they rock it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Carol, do you agree?
Well, I'm a big fan of Sauti So, but I love the military take on the blazer. You know, it's very distinct, very unique, very memorable. But if you keep doing it, then it starts becoming a style. Then people think you don't have anything different. So that's the risky part.
Yes. Okay. And Bob?
I think they're good.
Okay.
They bring it on. They're on top of their game.
Yeah, they never get it wrong, I suppose. Okay, and let's move on and see who else was there. And this is Edith Kimani and Connie Aloch, again at the Lux event right there. And let's take a fuller image. Okay, so little numbers, Connie and Edith. Let's start with you, Ian. Love it? Loving it?
Love it, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Carol, which look works better for you? And I know Connie is obviously...
I know, right? Well, actually, I love both. I like the black and the white of it because it's easy to get caught up in the little black dress, but you can see you can also pull off the LWD.
Yeah.
I love both.
Yeah. Okay. Annabelle, for the smaller petite lady like Edith is, she's tiny. Is white perhaps a look that... that smaller ladies could try to pull off, you know, at events, as opposed to the little black dress, which sort of just makes you look even tinier?
For sure. I think women tend to be scared of white because they feel like it makes them look bigger. But as you can see here, Edith is killing it.
Yeah.
And I like the balance. I like the proportions. I like the way both ladies, Connie and Edith, you know, when you're going to wear a short dress, it's good to balance it with covering up on the top. So you never want to like go bare on the top and go bare on the bottom at the same time.
Okay.
So the balance here is really appropriate and good. And we love the gold embellishments. Gold is always good for evening.
And I love that Annabelle brought that up because we see a lot of cleavage and bare arms and legs, and okay, so that's good. That what Edith has on there, that's how you should wear that little number. Okay, let's move on. See who else was there. Okay, Patricia Kihoro is at the center. And I know the fashion stylist as well. Carol, remind me her name? Sharon, yes. Sharon Mundia. And let's take a look at that. So there's the flowery print and there's the silk number and there's the African print. Robert, we haven't had you speak in a while.
African print 10/10. The Patricia, good dress, but it's more wedding-like. We're used to that in weddings, isn't it?
Really?
Yeah, but it's a beautiful dress.
The silk fabric?
Yes, and even the color, really, many bridesmaids wear that kind of color. The flowery one is a no-no for me.
Wow. Okay. So which look for you? You said the African
totally,
print.
100%.
Annabelle, touch on the pink, the hot pink, and the silk, and of course the flowery print as well.
I mean,
for an event, for a red carpet event, because this is what that was.
Second time in a row Patricia's on the show. That means her star is definitely rising.
Yeah, we'll have a word
That's
with
a girl
our
with a
producer.
rising star.
Yes.
I mean, I will say that as a group, I mean, it seems like this event, it was a red carpet event, so I'm really surprised to see all the women wearing really short hemlines, which I think is surprising considering the trend, it trends towards longer hemlines, you know, midi or T-length. So I would say I wish the girls had gone for a little bit of a lower hemline because that's more modern and contemporary. This feels a bit dated with the you know minis aren't so cool anymore.
And you've touched on the fact that what's the length, like what you have on, that's more in right now as opposed to the little short.
I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn.
Too late, Annabelle.
But no, seriously, speaking about like sort of staying relevant and staying sort of modern and contemporary, women should really consider a longer length. Carol is wearing it too tonight because that's sort of the way things are going. Fashion is no longer sort of about being overtly sexy, it's about the subtle sexy.
Okay, great, all right.
And I also really have a problem with a lot of women doing red carpet in really short outfit. It's very cocktailish. If you want to look elegant, just try something longer. Look for something that's more elegant and, like Annabelle says, it's a sexy kind of cover-up.
Yes.
I find this a little too informal for a red carpet event.
Okay. Ian, which look for you? 10 over 10? Or maybe that's a slight exaggeration. I don't know. You can...
The African.
The African print. Okay. All right. Let's move on. And this is Sarah Hassan with two ladies in blue on the red carpet. Again, the length that we're talking about. But I want to talk about the black tights. Yeah, I'll start with you, Carol. That look with the high and low. And actually, somebody on 22422 asked about the high and low skirts and whether those are still in, how to wear them, perhaps, and where.
Well, why?
And why?
Well,
Ian
the
is
why
asking.
part.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a time they were really in, but they seem to be phasing out. It's like the peplum, you know, it seems to have had its moment. I don't think the tights are appropriate here. I mean, it's a red carpet event. You're supposed to look classy and elegant, and this does no favors to the dress. And it just, what the tights does, it brings attention to the faux pas, and that's not what it's supposed to do. You're supposed to, I mean, it would have been nice if it was covered up all the way to the bottom, because this is, again, it's too playful, it's too 16-year-old in terms of what you could wear to a formal event where you have adults. It just, I don't think it works for me.
Okay, and Ian, for you, of course, out of the two ladies there, they're both in blue. Which look for you is more appropriate
Sarah,
for the
of
red
course,
carpet? Sarah?
Of course. I mean, the tights, it puts me off.
Yeah.
Yes.
And black tights, Annabelle, and you know, they're girls that are into tights for whatever reason. I mean, the more conservative ones particularly. I mean, the black tights really, we've seen this trend for a long time. What do you think of black tights and how should they be worn?
Yeah, I mean, I get that the tights are supposed to sort of add an element of conservatism. It's supposed to sort of make naked skin look a little more palatable. In this case, if you're going to wear a high-low hemline, it's because you're trying to show it all off. Yeah. So it seems ironic that you would wear a high-low to show it all off and then you'd cover it up with tights. So in this particular case, she should have lost the tights. It's just not appropriate.
Or worn sheer ones, perhaps? Or do you think that would have worked?
Or none at all.
No,
I think
tights at
high-low
all.
is for a girl with really amazing legs.
Yeah.
And not that she doesn't have amazing legs, but she should have just sort of gone with, just be confident and just do it, you know?
So to answer, I mean, I think that what I'm taking home from what Annabelle is saying, high-lows are for girls with amazing legs. We're not saying she doesn't have amazing legs.
And she has, I mean, look at her hair. She's a beautiful girl.
We can't know what her legs look like because she's covered them up.
Correct.
Absolutely, yeah. So a little more skin would have done that outfit justice. Okay, let's move on. And this is the Kitenge Festival at Galileo. This went down last weekend. That's on Saturday. It was organized by the Taurus Group, which is run by Ike. Let's start with you, Robert. This is Masi Myra. Masi Myra is stunning. I mean, her figure, really. A lot of people talk about she's in great shape for a girl her age, a lady her age. Let's begin with the fact that she's wearing African print shorts. She's got the waistband. She's, of course, wearing sheer pantyhose and sandals, heeled sandals.
Somebody shoot me. She's not done herself any favors. It doesn't look good at all. There's a bit of confusion with the top and the bottom. She has a brilliant body. Believe you me, if she had a longer dress but tight, it would look much better. I've seen her in better outfits. I think she tried too hard, and it did not work at all. Especially, it's like the top is for someone else, and then the bottom is someone else as well. There is a bit of confusion there. She has a brilliant body. She has not done herself favors. It's like owning a Range Rover Sport, but holding the key to a Vitz.
I completely disagree. I really disagree because first of all, this was the Kitenge Festival. It's at Galileo. It was an evening event, which means it's a clubbing event. So perhaps the lighting when they're shooting this picture doesn't do it justice in terms of even the tight. But when she's inside, in the spirit of the event, she actually fits the part. And this is a very trendy way to wear Kitenge. Everybody thinks Kitenge can't be sexy, it can't be fashion forward, and it can't be trendy. And she's made that work. I don't even see anything wrong with it. It's absolutely perfect.
So, okay, is it age appropriate? Ian, there's also that debate. But then again, this is a club setting.
This is Masi Myra.
Yes.
I think she looks very nice
body
in that.
appropriate.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I'd have lost maybe would be the silver thing.
Yeah.
That I would have lost. But for her to wear the Kitenge shorts,
and it was a Kitenge affair. It was a Kitenge festival. Annabelle, you're into African print. What do you think about that look?
I think this girl has a banging body.
Yeah.
And I also disagree with Robert, even though my earring has fallen out. As you can see, my earring fell out. I think she looks great. I mean, this is an interpretation of Kitenge that we don't see every day. You know, you don't have to wear Kitenge head to toe for it to be Kitenge. She's interpreted it so well. It's eclectic with the lace and with everything. The only thing I'd say is that she should lose the shiny tight leggings because the shiny tights because her body doesn't need it. She's got a great body.
But I think the tights would have worked, but the lighting is what is making it look like that in terms of photographing it.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah, the flash.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a win. 3 out of 3 to 1. I mean, really. Sorry, Robert. I think you're conservative, aren't you?
Very.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Moving on swiftly. He's a pastor. Remember that. This is Avril. Avril again at the Kitenge Festival. Again, the pants, the Kitenge pants. Just a touch of Kitenge is what they were going for at the Kitenge Festival at Galileo last weekend. Let me start with you, Robert, once again.
Thank you.
Has Avril killed it with this look?
The Kitenge is not very good. The design is not good. I'm not a big advocate of showing the frontal view to that extent, to be honest. There's beauty in covering, but the Kitenge is just there's nothing extraordinary about it. It's a very kawaida Kitenge. I wish it was standing because I don't think the pose is doing her much justice. But from what I'm seeing is that the Kitenge is not the best. And
okay, yeah. Robert is in a bad mood.
I know, right?
Totally.
Really? Annabelle,
what's
your take? I mean, I'm talking about cleavage, and you know, you were talking about just how much skin you can show. Where she's wearing pants, and then she's got the sleeveless top, which is low riding on the bust.
Yeah, it's very low riding.
Yeah,
but she's giving us something that's, you know. I think it's quite nice to look at.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's like maybe a rhinestone detail there that I would probably omit if it was me.
Okay.
But otherwise, she's executed the balance well. She's covered up on the bottom, and she's a little bit exposed on the top. And you know, she's teasing us, giving us a little something without giving it all away.
Okay. So a little bit of a plain black vest would have worked better. Okay. Without the embellishment. Carol,
well,
loving it.
Well, I do like it. But I find it a functional look. I'm surprised that she chose something like this for a night event. So I would love to see when she's standing. But what this tells me also is that you can find a way to wear Kitenge in a day-to-day life. You know, you don't have to look for a special event and make it work for you. This can actually work even just for something that's more ordinary.
Okay.
Yes.
And let's move on to what we have next. Right, again, Kitenge Festival. The girls are in a Kitenge. I don't know exactly what the guy is wearing, but that's an attempt at...
I mean, there's a guy there. Oh, sorry, I hadn't seen him.
Let me start with you, Ian. Of the three looks, who brought it? Who didn't?
Forget the guy. So I'm going to talk about the girls.
Yeah.
Different. The one on the left, it's short. Her shoes look a bit bigger than they're supposed to be. But I think I like her look. I like her look.
Okay.
Yes.
So you've just totally ignored that there are two other people in that photo. Okay, Carol. Yes, let's dress them up. Let's take away what's unnecessary and let's applaud what's on point.
Remove the guy.
Well, well, for the lady in blue, I love the juxtaposition, as Annabelle would call it, of the blue and her complexion. But the shoes don't work. They're too clunky. They're too big. And she should pick something with a more streamlined look. Something with a classic heel would have worked for this outfit. And the lady who's wearing yellow, I don't think that's Kitenge. That's more like a kanga.
Yeah.
And if you're going to wear something big at the bottom, wear something small at the top so that it balances the body out and you don't look bigger than you actually are. For the guy, the jeans are the wrong fit. It's too big, and you know the way if it's that kind of jeans, you can't fold it and make it work. It just you can't sex it up. It's just the wrong kind of jeans.
Yeah.
And the balance of color, I mean, it's supposed to work ideally. Perhaps it did in his head. It doesn't seem to work.
Designated driver.
So no, just take off the scarf and then get a more streamlined pair of jeans, and maybe it might be functional. Yeah.
Okay. Annabelle, the whole Kitenge thing for an evening, and what, of course, the Taurus group was trying to achieve by bringing people together in Kitenge. Is this a trend that we can, embrace in nightclubs, at dinner, the whole African print thing?
For sure, for sure. I mean, I applaud the group. What's the name of the group?
Taurus.
The Taurus group,
Yes.
for highlighting this idea of cool, trendy, public figures wearing kitenge
Yes.
in the evening. That that they're leaders and they're going to show us, captains of industry, showing us that we can do it too. We can
Yes.
wear kitenge. We can integrate kitenge into our everyday trends.
Okay.
I'm not sure about the interpretation in this particular picture, but I think the idea of kitenge, African fabric, making, owning what's ours, I think that's a great idea.
Okay, great. So that's the last image that we had. We have tweets. Let's take a look at those. Tweets. Right. Fashion Watch, please advise men on whether the kitenge can be official wear. I find it more of weekend casual wear, yet some of my colleagues love to wear it. I think simplicity is the key to hold true elegance. That's Angel. I love the show. It's an eye-opener. I think Saudi Soul were the best dressed.
I agree.
Of course you do.
I'm happy to hear that. I think those who want to be conservative should wear something long enough. Tights are a no-no in some instances. Okay. And what's our take home this evening? We've talked about the shoes, of course, Carol Odero and Annabelle. Okay, my mic has an issue. Carol, let's get a style tip from you this week. My mic is apparently off, so I'm talking to myself.
Wow, that was a surprise.
Yeah.
Style tip. Oof. Well, I would say
the clanky shoes.
Clunky shoes. I think that most women tend to get the wrong shoes. So I think the best thing to do is, if you're not sure about the kind of shoes you should wear, go for something classic. Go for a classic shape, a classic pump. It tends to go with everything. You go with jeans, it can go with kitenge, it can go with an evening gown, just a classic pump. Don't go for the platforms, don't go for the open-toed if you're not sure how to wear them. So just go for the most conservative kind of shoe you can find with an average of a 4-inch heel, and that tends to work for most part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Annabelle, on the kitenge for office wear, please, as we close, on men.
Yeah, I think in East Africa, kitenge is pretty much a sort of Friday weekend look, and I think we should keep it at that because, I think, suits are made for a reason. They're appropriate, so just stick with suits and don't do the kitenge thing for work. But I will also add that hemlines for women, lower hemlines are, it's dated. So I think the lower the hemline, keep it long, below the knee, and you'll look like you're in 2014.
Okay. And my mic is done. So close the show.
Oh.
So that's it. Yeah.
Thank you for watching Fashion Watch. See you next time.
And it's a wrap.